Hey Eric, how you doing, buddy? I know it's been a while since we done one of these. I'll get into that in a minute, and we'll do what we always do. I'll talk a few secs about shake and bake, and then we'll go on to the chat. Hopefully, y'all keep me going for an hour again. You guys been good at doing it so far. Hey, Shark Bait, what's up, Brandon? Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I know I didn't give any warning this time. Usually, I put out a community post on Tuesday, Wednesday. Just been super busy. Basically getting back from vacation. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just been busy trying to catch up. That's great to hear, Eric. Happy holidays to you as well. And Shake and Bake's doing fine. Shake and Bake's doing fine. I got you. I got you, Brandon. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate it. Definitely pay attention to what you're doing, especially on them trains, buddy. We don't need no train wrecks because you're watching Modern Red Hemi. Definitely not going to be 90 millimeter turbos. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about that. Usually we only got about 10 to 15 people in here, so it's not a uh, huge spoiler alert on possibly on where we may be going. There you go. Got the car paid off. Time for the upgrades. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, 90 millimeters is a bit big. We'll get into that in a little bit. I just want to give people few more seconds to chime in. Let me bring myself up on the YouTube here real quick. What am I looking for here? That's what All right, we got about 6 or 7 people in. Let's just go ahead and get started. So where's Dawn been? uh, so Dawn went on vacation with the wife. We went to Germany for about a week and a half. Went back to where I met my beautiful, sexy, hot girlfriend wife in Germany. Went back to the city where I proposed to her. We kind of hung out, had a great time. Went checked out a bunch of the Christmas markets, and had one heck of a time. So that's where I've been the last 2 Wednesdays. That's why I wasn't live for the last 2 Wednesdays, and I didn't want to blast it out there on social media. Oh, he's gone. Let's go rob his house. That happens a lot more often than what people think. When you start posting things on social media where you're not home, and next thing you know, you come back you come back from vacation and your house is empty, and your garage is empty. So yeah, I didn't want to really put that out there too. I put it out there a little bit. I didn't put it out there too much, but yeah, didn't want to come back to an empty house or an empty driveway or garage. So yeah, had a great time in Germany. A lot of fun. Like I said, we was there for about a week and a half. We first stop was in Hohenschwangau, just below the New Schwanstein Castle. If you guys are familiar with Germany a little bit, From there, we went to Ansbach, where we were both stationed in Germany. Went checked out the barracks, and then we went and checked out where we used to live when we were there in Germany. And then we went from Ansbach to Rotenburg, Ob de Tauber, and went to the Christmas market there. Went to Christmas market in Ansbach and the one in Rotenburg, and that's where I proposed to her. So yeah, had a blast. It was fun. Lots and lots of memories. Lots and lots of good memories. That's for sure. But so shake and bake. Where we're at with shake and bake. Right now she's fine. We got a few little suspension things we need to do. We need to tighten up. I got a bad shock on the driver's side. I got to change out. We got to put some shims in for the AAD stuff to get the alignment right. And then I got the AAD adjustable tow arms for the rear too, so we can kind of dial in that suspension 100% and make sure that back. Ooh, shake and bake ain't looked like that in a long time. Wow. But uh, just a few things we need to get the suspension done. Other than that, the car is running great, running awesome. Just wish I could have got caught at least a track rental or something to get some times on the current setup compared to the old setup. So we're probably going to have to wait till March until we can get back to the track and get any times and somewhat decent comparisons and somewhat the same weather we were in on the old setup. So it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out. But you guys know it. We're looking for on this setup. I think we can get close to a mid 9.5, 9.6. I think we can get there. And then future be told could be going uh, twin turbos, probably in the 64 millimeter range. We'll see. Just talking to Max and talking to Dave from their experience with a 5.7, you don't want to go too big in a turbo. You're just gonna waste, not really waste, but uh, there's no sense in buying humongous turbos, for a small cubic inch engine. So, and I think 64s will get us in that 1100 range to the wheels, which is absolutely plenty to have a whole lot of fun. I think the stock 90 can hang on to that roughly 1050 1100 wheels horsepower, which is going to get us in probably the 800-ish uh, uh, pound feet of torque. So I think the 90 will be okay at that power level. Eventually we're going to have to build the 90. I know that eventually it's going to happen. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Brandon, I'd love to do a TDY to Germany. All my buddies loved it there. Germany is great, man. Germany is a really nice country. So if you get a chance to do kind of a Europe trip, don't skimp out on Germany. Uh, Munich is awesome. Nuremberg is awesome. The big towns are great, right? Frankfurt, Heidelberg, Nuremberg, uh, you know, Munich. Uh, you can always hit the Oktoberfest. The Oktoberfest. Uh, Lots of things to do in Germany. It's a great time there. Eric, definitely going to be mid nines now in the new setup. That's the hope. And like I said, I think we can get there. 64 with spray. Spray is still an option. We haven't plumbed it in yet. We haven't plumbed it in yet. But spray is definitely always an option. I mean, even on the current setup, uh, all it takes is putting a hole in the charge tubes, and we're there. It's just that simple. Everything else is set up. So throwing in spray is not anything too difficult. So we may even do it on this current setup. We'll see how it goes. And if I got a spray to get a low 9, you know the deal. We're gonna probably wind up going for it. It's just the way. It's just the way we roll. Hey Perry, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, Brand. Yeah, those boys do love the red light district. That's for sure. Absolutely. If you know, you know. If you don't, all you gotta do is Google it. Google's your friend. Google is your friend. But yeah, we're having a good time. It's coming the holidays. We're in the off season. Not much going on. I did get myself an early Christmas present, so I got an Insta 360 and the car mount for it. So I may go out tomorrow, drive the car around a little bit, see if I can get used to that camera and the editing and stuff that's going to be required for that Insta 360 camera. I watched a few YouTube videos on it today. Like I said, Google and YouTube are both your friends. If you want to know anything or learn anything new or understand what's going on, Google it or YouTube it. I guarantee you Google's got something on it somewhere, and there's probably several YouTube videos on it already. And I do that with some people on Instagram when they keep hitting me up on Instagram. It's like I'm getting to the point where I don't have enough time to answer everyone on Instagram. So it's like, dude, Google it, go back and you do a search on YouTube, go back and search my channel. Yeah, it's starting to get hard to answer everybody, but I do my best. Let's see, Brandon, thinking about getting a loan from USAA for that F1A94. I hear you, Brandon. I hear you. To be honest, if I had it to do all over again, I probably just would have went straight for the F1A94. I may do another if I had it all over again. If I had to do it all over again, what would I do? I think I'd do things a little bit different and definitely not make the mistakes that I made this go around. Bruce, twins and twins and a supercharger. What could go wrong? We're probably going to get rid of the D1X. That's about the only way I'm going to be able to do it. If I do go twin turbos, is sell the D1X kit and pick up the turbos. All right, Brandon's going back to Eric. All right, he got a deal for me. All right, Eric. Yeah, it was great. Definitely a great vacation, no doubt. Let's see where we at here. Yeah, I saw what is it? Engine Masters did a video on oil pans, and then actually the amount of oil you put in your car does affect horsepower slightly. You're not going to get big gains. We're talking a handful. So it's uh, is the juice worth the squeeze? Maybe. Um, if you're trying to squeeze every last, onesie twosies add up fast. So you got a lot of onesie twosies. Ones and twosies add up to bigsies real quick. But yeah, there's there's eh, watch Engine Masters. They have a lot of great information that they put out on those shows, and they do some Hemi stuff too. So which is really cool. Brandon, speaking of Engine Masters, Brandon chimes in. Gained 10 to 11 over stock. That's not bad. It's not bad. Timothy Strange recently learned vacuum pumps being used for extra power. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can get you these onesie twosies, and to be honest, a lot of it's on Engine Master, on Engine Masters, um, and man, they got and you got to keep in mind, right? A lot of this stuff they do is it, it's really set up specific. So just because they gain 10 to 11 on their setup, don't expect you're going to get pick up 10 to 11 on your setup, because it may happen, it may not. So don't be surprised if it doesn't. Hugh, I get this question. I get this question not a lot, but I get a few people asking me questions if I'm ever going to finish with Shake and Bake. I don't know. Y'all, the you OG folks like you've been around for a long time. I keep kicking the can down. I keep kicking the can down the road. I keep kicking that can down the road on what does the finish line look like for Shake and Bake. I'm still not 100% sure. I'm still not 100% sure. So he's saying, if I do finish, do you plan to sell it and work on another project? I'm done with my car and it's time to move on. An F-150 with a Whipple sounds good. Um, you know, this is the longest. This is the longest I've ever had a car. So we're talking 2016 to 2023. So just over 7 years. I've had Shake and Bake, and I don't know. I've grown pretty fond of that car. Well, my hot girlfriend will tell you, I've grown kind of fond of that car. Um, it, I may wind up selling it one day. Just depends on how it goes and where I'm at, and what I'm doing. Speaking of F-150 with a Whipple, Hugh, if you're not watching Cletus, you're probably living under a rock. But look at Cletus McFarland and what he did with an F-150 with a Whipple. Just like close to he was an easy mid. He was rolling into it and did a mid 9 F-150 with a Whipple, man. Obviously that's the single cab stripped down version, just the base of the base. But yeah, those F-150s with a Whipple are just wicked fast. It's crazy how fast they are. Like I said, Cletus was doing mid 9, rolling in with a 1.4, 1.5, 60 foot, something like that, and was running a mid 9. It's just crazy. Really, with any of these cars nowadays, it's just ridiculously. It's ridiculous how easy it is to make power. It's nuts. Eric, is a project car ever finished? Especially when you're a racer and you're like, ah, all right, I've got a high 9. Now I need a mid 9. You get the mid 9, then you want a low 9, right? It just gets harder and more expensive. Brand, I wouldn't mind having a BGE 426, and at that at that rate, I'd probably leave it naturally aspirated and just have a blast and just max it out as much as I can naturally aspirated. He got bought his car 10 years ago and bought it brand new. Yeah, yeah, just like me. I shake and bake. I bought brand new back in November of 2016, and here we are, just over 7 years later, and look where we're at. Just it's amazing to me how far we've come, how much I've learned. The mistakes I've made, learning from those mistakes, and hopefully turning that over to you guys so you don't make the same mistakes I did. Or some of the new folks coming into the channel, hopefully they watch some of those old videos and just just don't make my mistakes. Um, it's hard not making mistakes when you are doing it like I'm doing it, and I keep kicking the can down the road. Once I meet one goal, I kick the can again. There's another goal, but yeah, just try not to make the same mistakes. Tubbed, engine set back 6 inches. Timothy, get out of my head, man. Get out of my head. Drop a elephant in your RT. There you go. There you go. He did take off a turbo for the Whipple. Like I said, those F-150s with a Whipple are just crazy, and there's several of them on YouTube. What is it? Boosted 150, boosted F-150. He's got a wicked fast F-150 that's got a Whipple. What's the record for a 5.7 block? I have absolutely no idea. All right, night, Bruce. Yeah, it was oh god, Richard Holdner. He ran one up to like 1100 on an engine dyno. So that's 1100 on an engine dyno. But there's so many records out there, so many micro records. And what I mean by micro record, it's like such a specific setup, and then they call it a record. That's why I don't ever say like I have a record. I did this record, or I have a record. My record is, you know, a built 5.7 with a Borla Tat Catback exhaust, D1X. You make it so specific, like you're the only one that can have the record because no one else has a setup like yours. And then you say you got a record. It's ridiculous. But I don't know what the fastest is for a 5.7 block. The fastest 5.7 I've seen on YouTube was crazy house performance. I think they put a 5.7 in a Dakota with, I want to say it was a turbo 500, and they went like 9.6. So that's the fastest that I know of a 5.7, and all they did was gap the rings. It was all stock internals. They just gapped the rings, but you know, I don't know what the end all be all record is for a 5.7 block, and I think what you're asking is the 5.7 the 5.7 liter, not a bored out 5.7 or a stroked out 5.7 or what have you. So my car is still a 5.7. It's 348, but it's still a 5.7. Timothy, S50, 550 Mustangs are going to be dumb prices like the Fox body in 10 years. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. It's basically stock. That's what all the Mustang guys say. Yeah, it's pretty much stock. Jehan, have you heard about Hellion twin turbo? Absolutely. I don't know if three pedal J's in. He has that Hellion kit. I know they've come a long way to try and be a bolt on system. I mean, it's a great system. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as you do it right. You got to make sure you get that scavenging pump. Make sure you got the turbos lined up right. Make sure you got all your lines right, and just make sure it's done correctly, uh, because you'll have a bunch of problems if you don't. Um, so just Jehan, uh, just make sure you have everything you need, and if you're doing the work yourself, like I said, just make sure you have everything set up 100% correctly. Because if you don't, especially with those oil turbos, if you don't have those lines right and you don't have that scavenging pump right, you're going to run into a lot of problems. You're going to go through a bunch of turbos and you're going to be like, man, what did I do wrong? Three pedal J can tell you about his problems with turbo he's had with turbos. Um, but for me, if I do, I'm leaning that way. It's still if I do go twin turbo, it's going to be oilless water cold turbos, and that's just for the ease of maintenance and not having to worry about a scavenging pump. And if the scavenging pump goes bad, the turbos go bad, and now you're out another $4,000 or $5,000 to get a scavenging pump and a couple turbos. You know, so my thoughts are just I'm going to go oilless and water cold turbos, and then we're looking at the comp turbos possibly. Uh, Mac and I are both talking to them to possibly get some kind of sponsorship from them, get some help on getting this project off the ground if we do it. Um, and yeah, and basically it's every 3,000 miles, you pump a little grease in there, and you're good to go for another 3,000. And then they like to recheck them about every 50,000 miles. Get them checked out, make sure everything's good to go, freshen them up, and then put them back in. So there you go. That's cooking. Sheesh. Yes, sir. Yeah, we could shave a couple 100 pounds off of shake and bake. There's no doubt about that. There's still some weight savings we can do with shake and bake. But I think we're gonna get close beginning of March when the tracks start opening back up. I think we're gonna be pretty close on this setup. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Jay was at, I don't know, is PRI still going on? Either was or is still at PRI. Boost leaks are an issue as well. I mean, there's boost leaks are an issue with any kind of boost. Uh, but yeah, the less amount of couplers you have, the better off you'll be. And that's why I like the setup I have now. There's two couplers, one on the D1X and one on the intake manifold or the throttle body. And those are the only two couplers I got to worry about. Now there's other places you can get boost leaks as well, but usually it's coupler issues is where it comes in. Brandon, I would like the Hellion kit, but I scrape at stock height, and I know the turbos would catch hell from where I live. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing with the Hellion kit. They do sit a little bit lower than everything else in the car. So if you live in an area that you got some big potholes or big speed bumps, you might want to watch out because those turbos will catch. That's for sure. That's a good point, Brandon. Ty, you going to Wham? All right, educate me. What's what is Wham? Where is it at? What is it? Is it like a track session? Is it a car show? Uh, Fill me in, Ty. Let me know what Wham is. Uh, I may try and look at getting there. Brandon, go Army. I hear you, buddy. You know what? I didn't even catch the game. That's sad to say. Um, but while we're talking about Wham and trying to figure out what Wham is, let's talk about the plans for next year. Oh, huge Mopar event at Dallas Fort Worth. When is it? I have to look it up. I'll look it up and see. But so plans for next year. I really want to get into more races, sanctioned races than test and tunes. Test and tunes are great, but it's sometimes it's hard to line up for with who you want to line up with, and you get lined up with this whoever you get lined up with, and sometimes it's difficult. And I mean, even in races that happens, right? But at least in the race scene, hopefully you're lined up with someone that's close to what you're running and stuff like that. So some street events, streetcar events. We always do the late model stuff at Maryland International. Um, I don't think we'll get to the point where we're going to do anything like a yellow belly or imports versus domestic. Don't think I'll ever get that fast. It just doesn't. Yeah, if you're not like low eight, high 7 second car doing import versus domestic, there's almost really no point. Now there is some slower 8 second cars that go to uh, import versus domestic, and I think there's some classes that run those times. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. So March 23rd, I have to look at that. I have to look into it, see what's going on, and I may try and make it down that. I definitely got to make it down to Texas sometime. Uh, get down there with demonology and check him out. But yeah, I definitely got to get down to Texas. Get down there and see B Mason, meet him in person. But yeah, Ty, I'll look into it and see what's going on. That's a pretty long drive for me, for me to get there, but I'll look into it, see what's going on, and see if we can't possibly make it down sometime. I'm as big time. I wish I was as big time as they are. He's a tad bit bigger than me right now. So, but I'm working my way up there. I'm getting there. We're almost at 10,000. We're at like almost 9,500. So we're about 500 away from 10K. We're almost there. Most of the folks say once you hit 10K, then you tend to start growing a little bit quicker, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. You got it with the arm flex, man. Let's go. Let's go. For sure, for sure. Let's get past this and get into me racing. Yeah, I definitely want to get back to Florida. Definitely want to go, maybe do a Cletus event. Also, uh, get down there, meet back up with RT Life again. It's been a while since we met up, and yeah, get down to Florida and have some fun too. I gotta get back. I gotta get back down there. But Texas is definitely something I've been wanting to do. Oh, dragon drives. So anybody knows dragon drives going on, let me know, because that's something I definitely want to do. Is a dragon drive. I think that would be incredibly fun to do. And I know there's other guys in my group that want to do some dragon drives too. So it, keep me informed of any dragon drives that you guys know that's going on, and hopefully you can let me know early enough that we can sign up for them and get us a spot. But yeah, so I got the Insta 360, man. So I think it's the same one Demonology has, and he uses on the back of his car to get those, kind of drone-ish like footage. Um, yeah, sick week, January, February. All right, and that's in Florida, correct? Where's sick week? Okay, yeah, I'll look into it, see if I can get signed. I know Cletus does sick week, so yeah, if we could rub elbows with Cletus and get shake and bake on Cletus's channel, man. Pimp him out a little bit. Say, dude, I need some help. Give me some subscribers, man. Give me some help. But like I said, I only do YouTube just because I'm out there racing and I'm modifying the car. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing YouTube. And really, it was RT Life, and actually, my wife talked me into it. Was, look, you're out there doing this anyway. Why don't you just take a camera and record it? So, boom, here we are, 3 years later, ish, 3 4 years later. Um, Out here on YouTube, man, just having fun. And what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in, buddy. I appreciate it. How's that race car coming? I try and keep up on Instagram, but the last 2 weeks have been rough. No, I appreciate that, Eric. I really do. And to be honest, all of 99% of the people that comment are always positive, always have good things to say, always have constructive criticism. Nothing, nothing awful. It's, the deal. It's that 1%. You get that 1%, and you're like, oh, this guy. So, and slowly coming along, just saving money for the expensive parts. TH400. Yeah, you know the deal. This stuff's expensive, that's for sure. No doubt about it. But yeah, that his charger is going to be a beast. That thing's going to be awesome. And that's true, Eric. You can't make everybody happy. Kong should be shipping the supercharger back soon. Man, yeah, those guys do some ridiculous work, man. They do some really, really high end stuff. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, we're looking at doing, definitely doing some dragon drives, definitely doing some racing events. be it the quoted streetcar events, depending on your definition of a streetcar, or the rolls for a streetcar. Uh, get out there and have some fun and do some competitive racing, vice just testing tunes. And yeah, the port job is going to be a work of wonder. I'll send you pics when it comes to that. That'd be awesome. Uh, yeah, I don't know about the no prep stuff. DBRs and saw. I got the DBRs. The DBRs are sitting in the garage. Um, so I could try. Maybe we will try some of the back of the half track stuff, some of the no prep stuff. Maybe we'll give it a shot. Gino's been bugging me about doing it, so I may just have to break down and do it. No, Ty, you can put the Turbo 400 in just about anything. Uh, the only thing it the only thing it does, time and money. You can do anything as long as you got the time and you got the money. You can do anything you want. You can go as fast as you want. Time and money. That's all it takes. The 275 class seems kind of neat. Yeah, I'd have to drop down to the 275s. Um, and I think with that power that we're at now, 950 ish. 275 class wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, I'll have to look at maybe doing some 275 stuff. That's a good idea too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely do need to do some more suspension work. I talked about that earlier. Get this shock fixed, get the alignment fixed, and hopefully we'll be a lot better off. Yeah, you bring up a good point, Tim. Those other classes are just they're just ridiculously fast. It is kind of crazy how fast those cars are. That's why I was talking about like things like Yellow Belly and import versus domestic. Those cars are just so fast, so quick. It's yeah. All right, good job, man. That's awesome. Mensers, man. That's top of the line stuff right there, and definitely worth it. No doubt. Sometimes you get what you pay for. If you get Mensers, you get what you pay for. If you run AAD stuff, you get what you pay for. I promise you. All right, let's see. Where are we at? 17 minutes. Y'all got to keep me going for 17 more minutes. no, no doubt, Ant. I'm with you there. Yeah, I gotta finish off my suspension. I got the AAD adjustable toe arms. We got to put some shims in, shim it up, and then get it fully aligned to get rid of the bad. Is it toe? Whatever. It needs an alignment bad. Um, Send it into the left wall. I, I I hear you, Ant. No doubt about that, buddy. But yeah, I'm hoping for a lot of fun this year. Like I said, a lot more competitive racing. We're still going to do probably a bunch of testing tunes too, but I'm going to start looking for more competitive racing to hopefully make the videos a little bit more interesting than me lining up against like a stock Mustang and then just destroying it, and then someone saying, "Oh, look, he's lining up against stock Mustang." But hey, in test and tune, it is what it is. You line up with who you line up with. There's, it's hard to line up for folks, but if you ever finish your car, you can buy. I know, right? With the money I saved from putting in the car, I could buy a winter home in Florida and go down there and race all year. I hear you. All right, Brandon, take care of yourself, buddy. Be safe. We'll catch you next week. We'll catch you next week, right before Christmas. Right, next week's right before Christmas, right? Yeah. All right, guys. I don't want to go repeating myself to keep this thing going. Um, so things are slowing down in the chat, but like always, man, I appreciate each and every one of you folks. You, I say it all the time. You folks and subscribers are the ones that keep me going. You guys are the ones that keep me going, keep me doing this. And Ty, like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys too. I really do. I can't say that enough. I know I say it all the time, and I know all the YouTubers, right, always say that they appreciate the subscribers and the people that comment and like and all of that. But really, seriously, I do. I try and answer every single comment. Now, when you reply to a comment after I comment, those are hard to find. A lot of times, they're hard to see. So a lot of times I don't answer those because I just don't see them. So that's why I try and say, if you want to get into a conversation, hit me up on Instagram. It's much easier for me to do it on Instagram than it is through the comments on YouTube. Um, but like I said, you guys are great. 99% positivity throughout the channel. I've been extremely lucky. I don't have very many of those haters out there, though there is one or two people that keep putting dislikes in all my videos. I don't know who they are, but I need to find them. We need to hunt them down. Hunt them down, twist their arm and tell them to get right. All right, hang on one sec. ProCharge 392. I'm off tonight. Got a question. ProCharger 392 stock internals making around 600 wheel. Want to go E85 flex fuel or straight E with a tune? All right, thanks, Ty. I appreciate it. Want to go E85 flex fuel or straight E with a tune? I'm straight E with a tune. Um, I haven't heard a lot of the people that use the flex fuel system. I know sometimes they're tricky to tune for the flex fuel stuff. But I am straight E85 with a tune, and I used to go back and forth. I used to have an E85 tune and then a 93 tune, and I would use the E85 through the summertime, and then once the season was over, I'd switch to 93. But that's just kind of a pain. So if if you're looking at kind of that switching back and forth, flex fuel is probably your way to go. But me, I just stay straight E85 now. I don't worry about switching back and forth from 93. Yeah, it is tends to be a little harder to start in the wintertime. For sure, it is definitely harder to start in the wintertime, no doubt about it. Um, but your tuning can help you with that, and depending on how cold it gets where you're at too, as well, right? And then you got to kind of stay away from that winter blend uh, as well. So you got to watch out for that. Try and stay away from that as much as possible, and keep your E content up. But me myself, I prefer E85 with a tune. There you go. The 9.0 class, man, I like it. I like it. That you know, I think I can get there. Um, and we'll see if we got to go juicy to get way down there in the 9.0 class. Hey, maybe we'll do it. But yeah, if they got a 9.0 class, definitely worth it. If you got haters, it means you're doing it right. I got you. I got you, Eric. Some V6 Camaro troll. I got you. Or what's the Mustangs? The oh gosh, whatever. I got you, Timothy. Shark bait. If I want to supercharge a 5.7 stock everything and have it at 8 psi, do I need to upgrade the fuel pump? I would. I don't think you necessarily have to, um, but I would, and that's just because let me get another video rolling, and that's just me being safe. Uh, that way, I know for a fact I have enough fuel. I would I would upgrade the fuel pump to at least a Hellcat 525. Um, and then you have enough fuel to handle what's going on. Now, come to the injectors. You may want to go, with some 650 injectors as well. So yeah, check your injectors. I would just check your tune. Shark bait. What you can do is if you want, keep your stock pump. Take it to a dyno tune. Don't. I would get it dyno tuned, not email tuned, and then have them check everything out. Make sure fuel pressure is good, fuel delivery is good, and then that'll tell you 100% if you have to do your fuel pump and injectors. But when I did mine to go to 8 psi, I did the fuel pump. I did a 525 Hellcat fuel pump, and I also did 650 injectors when I did mine. Pro Charge New York cold, yeah, buddy. If you go straight if you go straight E85, you're gonna have some. My car will take me 2, 3, sometimes 4 times before it actually catches and starts and hangs on. But yeah, Hue, more performance out of straight E, 100%. Yeah, and that's really the flex fuel piece, right? In my mind, right, it is you want to run E85 during the summer, and you want to put pump 93 in, so you don't have those hard starts during the winter, and then you can go back to E85 in the summer. Or if you're in a place where you're limited on E85, and you may get it to a point where, oh crap, I got to put some 93 in it. The flex fuel system is probably better for you, but if you're in a spot where you can stay straight E, where I've got several places where I can get E85, so I just stay straight E. And no skin in the game. Yeah, we've talked about MSHS quite a bit, man. This is on our Instagram stuff, so yeah, Eco Boost. That's it. Eco Boost Mustang. That's who it was. But yeah, I don't know. I'll see how it goes. All right, we'll see you later. See you later, Ant. Yeah, Sharkbait. That's just me. I just like to be safe. I just like to know for a fact that and that's one thing. That's one thing a lot of people don't talk about when when they do these superchargers and turbos. No one really talks about fueling. If you ever notice, it's like one of the main things you need to make power is fuel. And if you short yourself in fuel, you're asking for trouble. So you get to the point where you're pushing that stock pump, to the edge. That pump could fail, and then you're done. You're toast. So that's why I went with the Hellcat fuel pump and 650 injectors, just to make sure that I had what I needed on tap. Yeah, EcoBoost folks, they do talk a lot of smack too. Biggie Matt. All right, we got 5 minutes here. Pulling the trigger on a 5.7 because of you. I love how formative. Biggie, I appreciate it, man. I really do. And like I said, please don't make the same mistakes I made. That's my whole purpose. Well, not my whole purpose. That was one of my purposes of starting to put everything on YouTube. Is I don't want someone else to make the same mistakes I did. Learn from me. You you'll probably wind up making mistakes anyway. But if there's one video that stops you from making the same mistake I did, it's going to save you money, and that's really why I do it. And then the racing part, hey, I'm already out there racing, so might as well videotape. So that's why I do that. But Biggie Mac, I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, you can always hit me up on Instagram. I'm starting to get a lot of Instagram questions through the week and stuff, so it's getting a little hard to keep up with all the Instagram chatter. But I do try and answer everyone on Instagram. May take me a little while. And like I said, I do, every time I post a video, I do try and keep up with all the comments as well. But I do what I can. Eric, do you run any oil additive, or what's your thoughts on them? Lucas Amsoil hot shoots. I don't use any additives. I really don't have any thoughts on them, to be honest, Eric. Because I haven't used them. All I can tell you is take a look at my old engine when we tore it apart before I put the new one in. Never used any of that stuff, and my internals were 100% fine. As a matter of fact, we slapped the cam. Right. Well, I still got the cam. The cam is fine. The lifters are fine. Everything looked basically newish. I mean, you could still make out some of the hashes in the cylinder head. It was just amazing how clean that engine was when we took it apart. So I don't want to say. I'm not saying that to say that stuff's snake oil. No pun intended. But I just never used. I never used it. ProCharge 392. I need to know how much it will run for the E with a tune. Feel like I'm charged too much at times. So remember with E, you got, here we go again, right? You got to make sure you have enough pump and you have enough ejector to support E85. So you're going to need 30% more E85 than you do 93, right? Or race gas. So you use 30% more. So your gas mileage is going to go down roughly 30% because you're using 30% more fuel. So for me, let's see. Let me go back up ProCharge. I think you said you were on stock internals, 600 wheels. I would definitely same advice I gave who up above Sharkbait. I would go the Hellcat pump, at least a Hellcat pump, which those are couple $100. It's been a while since I looked at them. So you think a couple $100 for a fuel pump. I would at least go at least 650 injectors again. And you're looking at, if you go with thick, you're looking at $600-700 for injectors. You're going to want to change your fuel lines front to back. You're looking at another couple $100 there in just fuel lines and connectors. Roughly, just a rough idea. So we figured 2 or 3, 9. If you're having them do the work as well, you're probably in the 1,500 to 2,000 to make sure it's done right. $2,000 is a lot of money. I get it, 100%. But if you do it right the first time, you won't spend your money again. So again, learning experience from Dawn. Do it right the first time. Get the right stuff the first time, and you won't have to do it again. So ProCharge, if you're looking for the future and you're looking to do more power and take your 392 a little bit further over that 600 mark, I would look at getting definitely bigger injectors, probably 1050s, and look at possibly doing a dual fuel pump full return setup, just to make sure you got the fuel. Because you don't want to short yourself. That's one thing you don't want to short yourself on is fuel. But just where you're at, it's if you're saying 600 is it, I'm not going to do any more, I'm only going to run 8 pounds of boost, that's what I'm doing, you're probably looking, like I said, if you're not doing the work, if someone else is doing the work, you're probably in that 2,000, 2,500. I forgot about the tune. So you're talking another, depending on what people charge for tune, man, you can go anywhere from a couple $100 to over 1,000. So straight E85 with a tune done right, you're probably in that $2,000 to $2,500 range for someone doing the work. If you're not doing the work, if you're doing the work, you can take all that labor out of there, and then you're talking maybe 1,500 or so. And really, it's not that hard. It's just tedious. All right, we're way over 10 o'clock. Let me finish up. 5W20 full synthetic. That's exactly what I use. Yep. All right. Like I said, ProCharge, Hellcat pump and injectors. Hugh brings up a great point. I do oil changes every 3,000. I used to do them every 5. I do them every 3 now. True. All right, folks, y'all know the deal. I like to cut this off at 10 o'clock. Y'all got me past 10 o'clock. But hey, I do 100% love each and every one of you guys that support the channel. I know it's a pain, watching those ads. I know some of y'all do anyway, watch those ads and skipping the ads. I get it. Yeah. And that's why I don't say, hey, please watch the ads, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is, right? And really, all my money from YouTube goes back into Shake and Bake, goes back into the car. So I definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all supporting me and supporting the channel, supporting the car, supporting the build, and the whole 9 yards. I really, really do appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this one, folks. We'll be back here next week. I may try and bring in a special guest next week. I'll see what I can do and see if I can make it happen. If not, we'll do the same thing we always do. We'll sit here and run through the chat, and you'll hear me rattle my gums. So that's it for this one, folks. Till next time. Adios.